not some vehicle is going to be a priority or not. What was established today was a new precedent, something that had never taken place in this chamber in the history of our republic. What the Senate Democrats decided to do with a simple majority was to bulldoze 200 years of precedent that said something very simple, that this chamber would honor our constitutional obligation and conduct a trial to hear the evidence. There's no real debate. We were to hear the evidence from witnesses, counsel is present. There's a whole process, there's a whole procedure that's been established, finally wrought throughout the ages, that we were to honor. When we raise our right hand, when we get sworn in, to honor. When we got sworn in today, to honor as United States senators. That's all gone now. Maybe forever. I don't see a circumstance now. You heard the parliamentary inquiries asking if a precedent had ever been established for this or that. 100 years from now, when somebody else has Harry Truman's desk, if I remember to carve my name in it before I die, we'll have this desk. I don't know that person's name. I don't know their background or what their life experience will be. But they'll know what happened today. They'll know that the United States Senate under Chuck Schumer, who will go down as one of the worst U.S. senators in American history because of his actions today, will know that we just blew off an important duty to conduct a trial. It wasn't, an idea, and to paraphrase my friend from Louisiana, it wasn't some, gamer bro with a tweet. These were articles of impeachment voted on by the people's representatives in the House of Representatives, walked over here and delivered. And so Chuck Schumer and the Democrats who voted for that, they're going to have to own that. And to paraphrase something the senator from Kentucky said just a few years ago, I think they're going to regret it, and I think they're going to regret it sooner than they think. So having said that, what was this trial supposed to be about? And as the senator from Utah mentioned, when I was Attorney General in Missouri, we brought the first lawsuit against the Biden administration for their actions at the southern border, when they decided to undo remain in Mexico. We were successful for a while. But what came out of that was a lot of what you might have read in Article 1 of the impeachment that were brought over. A lot of those were from, arguments were from that case. And as an interesting little side note, when we won, when we had an injunction in place actually for the Biden administration to keep this very important protection in place, they ignored it. We had to go back in front of a judge time and time again to get them to abide by the law. But what we have found out from this administration, and Secretary Mayorkas specifically, is he himself is willing to subvert the law, to believe that he is above the law, to lie and to commit a felony that this chamber now has said doesn't rise to the level of a high crime and misdemeanor forever. That is the precedent forever. So the human toll of this lawlessness at the border that has been overseen by Secretary Mayorkas is devastating. Thousands of people die every month for fentanyl abuses or overdoses. We have a ticking time bomb in this country with the national security threat. We don't know who 2 million people are. 9 million people have come here illegally. Most of them have been told, please show up for a court date sometime in the 2030s. That's not going to happen. But 2 million of them, we don't know who they are, we don't know where they're from, we don't know where they're at. We're seeing a record number of Chinese nationals come across just in California alone. People from all across the world coming here because they know our border is wide open, and it's not by accident. And whatever the motivations are, Secretary Mayorkas' memo and instruction to his employees to ignore the law The immigration law in this country, the snapshot is, if somebody comes here illegally, they're detained, they're deported, unless some adjudication exists, like asylum claim is processed. 9 out of 10 of those are bogus. That had been the law of our country, the law of the land, for a very long time among Republican and Democrat administrations. No longer. Because Secretary Mayorkas decided to instruct his employees to subvert that law. If you want to change it, come here. If you want to change a shall to a may, that's what we're supposed to do. That's what the Article 1 branch is supposed to do. Just like the Article 1 branch here in the Senate is supposed to hold people accountable who are in high positions of government. It is our remedy. And as the back and forth in that United States versus Texas and Missouri case from Justice Kavanaugh to the Solicitor General of the United States indicated, what is the remedy here? And the Department of Justice own lawyer said, well, they have the remedy of impeachment, but I guess we don't actually have that anymore. And so I know that in these 24-hour news cycles, things move on quickly. Tomorrow we're going to be on, FISA, there's national security stuff, and it'll be easy to sort of, I think, for many, to sort of wipe today away. But it won't go away. It's a stain on this institution. It diminishes this body. It is why I stood up to object to a ridiculous idea that somehow we're supposed to negotiate away our constitutional duty. That isn't up for grabs. That's our job. Oh, thank you, Senator Schumer, for giving us a half hour to talk about this. No thanks. Not for me. Now, would I do that on some amendment to an approach bill? Probably not. But when Senator Schumer wants to set our constitutional order on fire, I will stand up and I will object. And I know many other people share that point of view. There is no structure to the arson you're committing. So I appreciate the inquiry or this back and forth we're having with the senator from Utah, because sadly, this is all we're left with. So many powers of individual senators have been given away over the years. This institution is no longer the world's greatest deliberative body. It's kabuki theater. With fewer powers now individual senators have. And fewer powers that we've been given by our founders as an institution. For what? For what? A couple of bad days, a couple of news cycles? Congratulations. Congratulations, Chuck Schumer. You're going to own that. And every single Democrat that voted for it will too. So the border crisis isn't going away. It still exists. The Senate lost an opportunity to hear evidence to hold someone accountable today. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.